Hey, and welcome back. Welcome back to the Academy of Witchwood. My name is Guilford. Welcome back to this world. Last episode, we went ahead and built this cage up there in the air. In between episodes, I went ahead and updated this a little bit, and you can see it is golden now. And I also put in some mushroom stems up here so nothing can spawn on the top of the spawner. I also told you last episode I got this golden sword with capturing. Well, a golden sword doesn't stay for long, so I upgraded to a Taiji sword, and you can see it got some really nice enchantments. And the first thing I got with this, purely by luck, was a wither skeleton spawn egg. And this one I used on the spawner. As you can see, it's a wither skeleton spawner now, and as you can see, it is also fully upgraded with min spawn delay and max spawn delay both on 20. What does this mean? That means that if I flick this lever now, you can see every second wither skeletons spawning and dropping below. With the one that spawned on top of the redstone link. Get down there. Did I just kill it with a punch? Oh wow. I'm stronger than I thought. Alright. So with this spawner and a bunch of wither skeletons waiting for me down there, I went ahead and got myself a bunch of wither skeleton skulls. In the meantime, I also got a skeleton spawn egg, a necromancer spawn egg, and a creeper spawn egg, because this sword is really nice. So with this, the first thing we're going to do today is to kill ourselves a few wither. And without further ado, let's go. Okay, let's not go. Do I need to... Ah, there we go. Okay, I think fighting the wither might be a joke, because with the withery bracelet, yeah, it can't really do anything against me. So if you want to fight the wither, get yourself a withered bracelet. I've found a few of those in the nether already. It's really useful, just do what I did. So I don't know if it was the Lich's Crown or the Withered Bracelet, but I think I didn't even lose a shield. I'm going to just destroy the rest of the withers, and yeah, it will be a walk in the park. With the Nether Star acquired, we can now right-click the monster spawner, get the advancement factory ready, disable the need for nearby players for spawner, and from now on I can remote control this spawner with the redstone link I put on here. So if I go down to my killing chamber, getting rid of these mobs along the way. Where do you all come from? Everything clear? Yeah, good. I did create a second redstone link over here, which has a lever, and as you can see, nothing is in here right now. Let's switch the lever and wither skeletons start appearing. I will have redstone controls for all the spawners down here. I will probably create a little hut over this where I can remote control which spawners will be active. And then I can just go in here and kill everything that appears. Here in this tree, I want two options. The first option will be to slay whatever ends up in here manually, which, well, I mean, it works already, but I would like to clean this up a little bit, make it a little bit more pretty and more, nice to look at. As well as a little bit more safe, because while wither skeletons are, first of all, skeletons, so they don't attack me, and second of all, they're 3 blocks high or 2.5, so they can't go through this entrance. Not everything that I will summon has the same restrictions. So if I, for example, summoned a bunch of creepers, this might be very dangerous for me. The second thing is I also want to add a mode to automatically kill everything that ends up in here. And for that I do have two options. I can either go for the create nuggets of experience, which I could get, for example, by using crushing wheels and crush down everything that ends up in there, which would totally work, not only for ore but also for enemies. Which would also give me all the loot that the enemies drop, at least everything that is not player only. The other option would be experience gems from Ars Nouveau, which can be crafted into greater experience gems and giant experience gems and gargantuan experience gems, so I can compress this quite a bit. Both options will just give me the experience whenever I use the gems. I think I'm going for the experience gems from Ars Nouveau because I really don't want to go through all of Create just to set up a few crushing wheels in here. I might get to that a little later. To get the experience gems from Ars Nouveau, we can use a ritual. And it is the ritual of disintegration, if I can type it out correctly. Disintegration, here we are. Destroys nearby monsters and converts them into experience gems worth twice as much experience. Monsters destroyed this way will not drop items. This ritual consumes source every time a monster is destroyed. Now this is a little misleading because it's not every time a monster is destroyed, but every time the ritual does its job and destroys everything in the vicinity, which is around every 2 to 3 seconds, I think. But as you can see, it just takes a blazing archwood log, a few golden swords and a few books to get a tablet, and you can disable ritual braziers with a redstone signal. So that's the way we're going to do this. I'm going to clean up this room a little bit, make it a little bit nicer looking, and yeah, set up a small ritual in here. And here we have a little black box, which should be pretty safe for me to farm anything that comes in here. And I do have a little area below, which I can use to set up a ritual brazier with a tablet of disintegration. So, placing down the brazier, right-clicking with the tablet, and it's running. And now everything that comes in the vicinity, and the area is quite a bit bigger than it appears, it will be disintegrated. That is Otherwise, I put a lever here and you can see currently it's running. Now it's turned off. Now everything that lands in here will be just fine. Obviously, we need a sauce jar to provide the tablet of disintegration with enough fuel. So I can just put this here. And now let's turn on the wither skeletons, fill up this area a little bit, and then we take a look how the disintegration works out. And you can see it fills up rather fast. So fast that they actually start to cramp in there. And boof. So much experience. Now we just need a way to actually get this out of there so that we can utilize it. But just a few seconds of waiting got us a huge amount of EXP. I'm just going to craft this down into the bigger gems. And I'm level 34 right now. Let's use all of these. Brings me up to level 41 for 3% of a mana jar. So I think this works out really nicely. And as this spawner doesn't care if we're near or not, as long as the whole area is loaded, so as long as we're in the vicinity, I can just keep this running if I have enough sauce to support it. There's a few things that we can do and will do with the experience we get. First of all, we do have the whole quest road to the higher level enchanting options of apotheosis. The other thing that requires experience is a quest in the arcane arts, which is build an EXP fountain. Construct a fountain that grants experience to any who lingers near. Its waters are to be an eternal well of growth, not a shallow tickle. Well, we will at least have a fountain that also provides us with experience gems. But, yeah, water is actually a hell of an element to work with, so I did have some issues designing one. For now, to keep this thing running, we need a steady source of source. While I'm an alchemist, and alchemy should be my top priority, it's also the hardest way of producing source in this pack. So I think I'm going for another option. And this option will be to produce source with the mycelium source link, which means providing food. I will create a very simple setup to, well, actually make this possible so that we can provide the setup behind there with enough source to keep running, which is important if we want to collect a bunch of experience gems. So let me set this up, let me skip through the night, and I'll get back to you and show you what I did. I just had to put our sauce jar here on the other end of our small ritual room. Just wanted to show you before I block this off again. Because otherwise it's out of reach for our new sauce setup here. So what do we have? We do have 6 blocks of flourishing archwood logs up here with mangosteen growing on it. We do have a drawer that is there to keep all the mangosteen in it, and we do have an arcane platform which will one at a time, draw Mendostine out of this drawer, or otherwise the drawer will push it out onto the platform so that the mycelial sauce link here can, well, eat the fruit and produce sauce. We do have a spell turret here which has touch, propagate, plane, grow ×2, harvest and item pickup. This spell will touch the Mendostine, create a plane, so I could add another row of Archwood and Mendostine here, but I don't need to. It will grow all the Mendostine there is by 2 stages, which will fully grow them. Then it will harvest them and put all the pick items that come out of it into the drawer. The drawer has a pusher upgrade, so it will push the Mendostine onto the platform, and it has a redstone upgrade, so as soon as more than 2 stacks of Mendostines are in it, it will generate a redstone signal to stop this turret of working. So if I just take out all the Mendostine here, it will start working. You can see it rapidly fills up with Mendostine. The mycelial sauce link will keep this jar filled up, and as soon as it's filled above a certain degree, the tower would stop, and I think it will be like around 2.5 stacks of Mendostine that will be in here all the time. So this amount took like a minute to generate. We will never be short on Mendostine again. And why Mendostine? Because it can also be used for brewing, for potions of recovery, which is a really simple and powerful potion, which will be used later on in our automatic potion setup. So with this, we should be able to run our ritual here permanently now, generating us a lot of experience gems. Last but not least, I will also put in a spell turret here to do the item pickup, so that we, can get all the experience gems we get into one drawer. And it is running just as I wanted. Mobs are getting disintegrated into experience gems every 5 seconds. This new spell turret down here will collect everything that has been dropped and will put it into this compacting drawer, which can store up to 2,500 of the giant experience gems, which we then can just pull out of here and increase our levels as we like. I will leave this running in the background. I will probably add a void upgrade at some point, but I think until we have 2,500 of these, we're good. What do you think about my experience farm? I think this works out quite nicely and produces a whole lot of experience. As we have our more green area back here with our trees, I think a fountain would be a nice centerpiece of like a more central area. How about over here? As it has gotten winter again, and other than in real life, we got a lot of snow, I think I need to clear up a little bit of this before we can get to work. And then, let's build a fountain. think I'm quite happy with this fountain. At the moment, it's not a fountain for EXP, but it's a fountain. And I plan on building a few things around here, so making this like a market square or something like that. Well, probably not a market because, well, I'm pretty alone here. But maybe I get some villagers. That would be an option. I also placed down some straw statues here. And these straw statues are quite funny because you can give them a style. So if I, for example, just type in my own name here. Wait. Here. Sorry. This one. It takes on the player skin. So if you want to be part of this fountain, drop your Minecraft alias down in the comments, and I will take the first 4 that sent me their name and put them around. So, if you want to be part of this world, you have the chance. In case you're wondering, I created these water particles here with something that is called, wait, back. Where am I? With the prestidigitation spell, which just creates invisible blocks that emit particles. And I colored them in blue and made them the water particles, and now I have some animated fountains here. I think these look really cool and add a lot to the little water element that we have here. So, things are getting dark, mobs are appearing. Let's quickly sleep and take a look at this in plain daylight. Alright, back in daylight, and here you can see the fountain as it should be. Like I said just now, leave me your Minecraft username down in the comments so I can add you to the building. And yeah, I would say the next step is to actually add the EXP potion. And while on the topic of EXP, let's see how the farm is doing. If I take a look in here, we are already at 2,600 giant experience gems. I increased the storage capacity quite a bit, but I think this is more than enough and probably more than I ever need. Let's take a look, just a few stacks, and I already reached level 100. So, yep, this is working even with only one spawner. It's doing its job. And after long last, now finally experience is flowing in our fountain. When I created this quest, I thought it would be a little bit more spectacular, but to be honest, this is the best I could create right now. If you come up with something better, hey, let me know. I'm really eager to see what you might come up with, but the way I implemented it now is using, maybe you can see it here, it is using an ender drawer, which is filled to the brim with the experience, using faucets from supplementary to drop the experience down. And down here we have some hoppers collecting the experience so that they don't float around and I really need to change up the floor of this fountain. But either way, it is dropping experience. It is quite a big stream, and we do have more than enough experience on hand to level up everything we want. I'm probably not going to build a lot more around here as long as it's winter, because I really hate building in the snow. But now that we have our fountain, we can definitely go ahead and check off the fountain of EXP and get ourselves another alchemy skill point. Set up a max level beacon is also not too far away because, well, we do have the Nether Star and we have unlimited gold, which should make this relatively easy. And I also have plans for a magical tower, so probably Research of the Arcane will be the first chapter we complete completely. And because I really want to get to the 3rd year, or to complete the 3rd year in this episode, I went ahead and took a look and found that in the summoning category there's a quest of summon 5 different creatures at once. And I thought, hey, this might be doable, and it totally is. So let's go ahead and summon a few things. A few Vexes. A few Undead. A pack of Kitsune. And a bunch of Wolves. So that's 4 spells to summon things. And in addition to that, we do have our Vixie Familiar. So I think this should be enough to count as summon a bunch of stuff. None of this is really powerful enough to, well, really fight for me alone without my help. But I think it does count as this quest is completed. And with this, I think I have 8 challenges completed, which allows me to complete the next year. Which gives me another few skill points, and I just have to be aware that from now on, portals might pop up. Or they will pop up. Trying to kill me. So I need to be aware of that. You'll probably see some in the next episodes. But overall, I think we got a lot happen today. We built our EXP farm, or finalized it, built another source generation, built the fountain of EXP, and got our year 3 completed. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I think we will continue with the topics of Magical Tower, the max level beacon, and other things the next time. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon. My name is Guilford, signing off. Bye bye.